Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at the Foot Enforcer in classic colors. This is part of NECA's Holothon, which is stuff that shows up first at Target, but later shows up everywhere else, I believe. As an avowed member of the Big Meaty Men Slappin' Meat fan club, I needed this big meaty man, this huge foot soldier. As a matter of fact, this is the first foot soldier I've opened and reviewed. I've got the regular foot soldier and the Foot Elite Guard. And I probably should have opened the regular foot soldier first, but this is just for for comparison's sake. That's how much bigger this fellow is than the regular. Big, thick wall o' beef. On the bottom of the box, you've got the credits for everybody that was involved in bringing this piece of art to life. You've got product shots on the back, but let's open him up and take a look inside. I'm a big fan of the packaging design for this line of Mirage inspired figures, or Mirage, not even inspired, Mirage based figures. These come directly out of the old Mirage comics, which, if you have not read, I don't think this collection is available anymore, but other versions are. Get yourself a collection of those old Mirage comics. They hold up. They're still some of the best comic books I've ever read in my life. And when you read them, if you have never read them before, you will understand why Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this ridiculous concept, has the legacy that it has to this day. Oh man, look at that big giant Naginata, I think, right? I used to know the names of so many like ninja weapons and all kinds of other stuff, thanks to like Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe, and because that was one of the great things about G.I. Joe. We were talking about this the other day. I learned a lot of my vocabulary from G.I. Joe, but one of the great things about G.I. Joe was on the side of the blister card, it would have a list with the proper names of all the weapons that were included with the figure, and that's how I learned the names of all of those things. And while at this point in my life I don't remember most of that, at the time it was a good tool for engaging my brain, for learning something that wasn't necessarily useful, but just the process of learning. So now, this probably has a different name, but Naginata is the closest thing I can think of. It's in that family. It's at the very least in that family. As opposed to the family of plastic tabs, which right now numbers in the dozens. There's always one. Oh, no, wait. Okay. That one's just got the little cover on top of it. Holy cow. What's going on here? Oh, there's two on this one. Why? So unnecessary. I just want to get my giant nunchuck thing out of there. Is that too much to ask? There's a little one, while we're sitting here toiling through these horrible plastic tabs together. Tell me in the comments, I don't know the answer, by the way, does the triple nunchuck have a different name from regular nunchucks? I have no idea and don't know if that's ever a piece of information that I even had. Because I don't recall when I was a kid the triple nunchuck being a thing. I know it at some point later in the G.I. Joe line, Snake Eyes had a version, but I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, because we have finally released this big mountain of ninja from his packaging. It's time for a little, there is the full picture of this big, beefy warrior. If you want to compare him to the recently reviewed Kirby, there you go. A veritable mountain o' beef. All of these figures are just expertly executed. He has... Okay. Interesting. So we've got some stuff to futz with here. So he's got the slightly off-kilter eyes that are a trademark of that early Ninja Turtles artwork. I love all the scars and everything done with paint here. And this is a soft plastic piece, so it doesn't interfere with his head articulation at all. And then these shoulder pieces are just... So the back, it looks like they're actually pegged in... Oh. Maybe that one's not supposed to pop out that easily. But the point is that these do move up and down so that you can get as much of a range. That one probably shouldn't pop out that easily, but it pops right back in just as easily, so it doesn't bother me. Look at that bicep swivel. He's got... The forearms are going to swivel around, which is something that I realized with that Kirby figure, is those forearms are actually on a swivel. These are very pointy. Wait. As you can see. Oh, you know what? I bet that's using the same arm as the Mutant one, the Shredder clone, whose arm pops off. The review is here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. You can check it out. I bet this is using some of the same parts, so that's the reason that pops off like that. I like how modular these are. So you can see just all of that detail. And the chainmail on the loincloth there. Just a great design. He's got the waist is mostly just a swivel. And then you've got the standard NECA hips there with the swivel at the top of the thigh and then the ball joint underneath. So he's got a pretty good range there. Double jointed knees. And then just the wrappings look so good on these. On the forearms, the belt, the legs. Like, these have such a unique and stylistic presentation. And it's funny because it's such a representation of the comic art, and yet they're very, very toyetic as well. Like, the translation from 2D to 3D of these characters is very appealing. I love these aesthetics. They've used this nice matte paint that they've used on them. Just all of the black markings for the inking. This line is gorgeous. So there is our big, giant, incredible figure. Set him off to the side there. And another thing I want to point out, all of these figures stand very, very well. I've had them they're on a high shelf, which I know traditionally NECA stuff plus high shelf is taking a risk. That's just how it is. That's not a knock, really. Oh, certainly not a knock against NECA's product for the last at least 5 years, probably longer, where they have really figured out sturdiness and assembly and everything else. But these are all up on a top shelf, and their joints are tight and secure, and nothing has fallen over yet. These are stable, solid, top-notch action figures. As a matter of fact, I haven't really thought about this. NECA's output, certainly this line, but NECA's output over the last several years might be the highest quality action figures on the market. I've mentioned in many of my reviews of NECA figures just how they've figured out, the joints and the rigidity of the plastic and everything else. But it's just struck me that every NECA figure I review now has this sturdiness and this stability and this function and form combination that's so difficult to nail in the action figure market. And I think NECA's been doing it for a long time, and it's just the past of, yes, figures that were more fragile, figures that were less durable over time, were I don't know, I'm going on too long. NECA's putting out some amazing product right now. That's the bottom line. Possibly the best product on the market. Okay. Putting him off to the side. We already took a look at that Naginata. The detailing is just absolutely incredible. Look at that. I mean, look at that. That's so cool. We've got a sword. A katana, perhaps. And this is a different one because it's much larger than any of the ones we've seen before in the line. So this, I'm sure we'll see it again. Or maybe have seen it with like a repaint or a different version of this character that I don't currently own. But this is definitely a larger katana. You have got... would this be a trench sword? I don't know. It's not a trench knife. But it's got the, again, very pointy knuckle guard. Excellent looking weapon. The triple chuck with actual string between the pieces. Perfectly done. Very, very simple, but very, very satisfying because look, wonderful. And then, of course, tons of interchangeable hands to interact with the various accessories. You've got a sort of foot hand signal, I guess. Oh, somebody asked about this in another video, and I cannot find the comment now. Yes, NECA paints the discs, and sometimes that paint comes off. It actually seems to be holding up pretty well on this one. But yeah, sometimes that paint comes off, and, you know, it's not ideal, but what are you going to do? There are some issues in toy production that's almost a little, those hands are almost too sweet, that I can't think of a solution for, and that's one of them. And you got a couple of C-grips, a couple of chopping hands. Great selection there. I don't know what I'm going to give this guy. I kind of want to just leave him like he is because he's just a big, brutish bruiser. But the bottom line is, if you want to get multiples, you can outfit them multiple or accessorize them multiple ways. It's a big, awesome... I hesitate to ever use the word perfect, but excellently executed figure that I had to have in my collection. Every single one of these standard paint scheme figures I plan to buy, because to me there's no character too minor to add to the shelf in this style for this collection. So there you go, the big boy foot soldier from Mirage Comics. And as always, check out those Mirage comics. If you have not read them, find a collection, read them, put them in your brain. You will immediately understand why Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is as special as it is and has endured so long. It has endured for 40 years now, right? I think 84 was the original... Hang on. Just real quick. Oh, it may not have the original date, original published date in this one. No. It's not. I think it's 84. Look at that. How cool is that? I still don't have a standard shredder. I've got a battle damage shredder, but I don't have a standard shredder. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.